Hey, this is the C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is Dave, and this is MMA for You. Before we begin, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Go Business 123. Please visit their website, www.gobusiness123.com, for your needs with business consultation, resume building, and job postings. Also, for $19.99, Go Business 123 will provide you with both resume building and resume enhancing, a 15-minute mock interview, and put your resume on their site for employers to see. Now, let's begin.
Chris, how do you see a super fight between Anderson Silva and GSP going?
Now, the fact of the matter is, I honestly believe that GSP would beat Anderson Silva if they had a super fight. 3 rounds or 5 rounds. The thing is, seeing Anderson's fight against Chael Sonnen, you really get the impression that wrestling is his weakness and that is GSP's strength. I do feel that GSP will probably take down Anderson and control him. I don't think he'd stand with him very long. I do feel that GSP does have reach disadvantage and also a size disadvantage, which could really help Anderson pump out the jab and establish distance. However, I think GSP will find a way to take it to the ground. I don't think that GSP could finish Anderson, though. I think that what he would do is he'd definitely control him, probably get some dominant positions like side mount or mount even. I can't see him submitting him. He uses a position from side mount a lot that he used on Dan Hardy and Matt Hughes, where he puts his leg over the guy's head, works the Kimura, works an armbar. I can't see Anderson Silva really falling for that. Standing, I can't see GSP knocking him out, and that's actually the best place where Anderson could win and knock GSP out. However, regardless of that, I do feel that GSP will find a way to take this to the ground, control Anderson for 5 rounds. Cardio is not an issue, and win a super fight.
Okay. Where does Anderson Silva go from here? What can we take for his performance against Chael Sonnen?
Well, the thing with Anderson versus Chael Sonnen and UFC 117 was that we really didn't see Anderson at his best. Like, where was his jab? Where was his elusiveness? Where was his lateral movement? Where was him trying to establish distance? Where was this beautiful striking that we're so used to seeing? It just wasn't there. He went for wild haymakers. He was going for like weird taekwondo kicks even that caught him off balance and got him taken down. I really don't think we saw the best Anderson Silva against Chael Sonnen. Now, I don't think he's getting old. Maybe that rib injury that he was talking about is legit. But yeah, I really don't think that was his best. I mean, he was more or less getting outstruck by Chael Sonnen, who wasn't using that technical of strikes. It was just, he was just kind of throwing, rushing in. And maybe that caught Anderson off guard, that, this guy came guns blazing right away. As far as where Anderson goes next year, he does have a rib injury, so he might be out. But saying if he does get a fight, I can see him fight Vitor Belfort or get a rematch for Chael Sonnen possibly. But honestly, I'd see him fighting Vitor. It'd be it's a fresh matchup, and also you'd see a lot of striking involved, and so it'd be really interesting to see if Vitor can measure up to Anderson striking, or if Anderson just be normal Anderson and just destroy his opponent.
Okay. Where does Chael Sonnen go from here? Is an immediate rematch against Anderson Silva necessary?
Now, as far as an immediate rematch goes, it's good for the fans, and it's good because it's one of the only super fights for the middleweight division, and there's really not many super fights in that division. It's a fight that fans do want to see. However, I don't think it's really necessary, for the reason being that Chael Sonnen said it best. He came in second place. There was no weird decision. There was no bad rough call. There was no DQs or anything. He tapped to a triangle choke. I mean, that's it. He lost definitively. The thing is, too, is that there's so, like, I'd say like 6 months of trash talk that Chael Sonnen was doing to Anderson Silva. And, after a while, some people were like, oh, more trash talk. Or like, it's like, oh, dude, we have enough trash talk. Let's just get to the fight. So if you do an immediate rematch, it's kind of like, oh, man, another 6 months of, like, Chael trash talking him, saying how he almost won, getting racist again with him, I just don't really see the need for it. I'm thinking, you're kind of gambling with Anderson versus whoever, whether it's Vitor or someone else. And then you're hoping that Anderson will win and Chael will win his next fight. I do feel you got to take that risk, though. And then once all the cards are right, then you can do another 6 months of trash talking, and see another 6 months of Chael just going at it, selling the fight or whatnot. As far as where he goes next, though, a fight, since Anderson Silva might have a rib injury, he could fight Vitor Belfort, and I think that'd be a really interesting fight. They're definitely both contenders for the division. Another fight I'd like to see is him getting the winner of Akiyama versus Michael Bisping. There's already a war of words between Bisping and Sonnen, so it's already heating up. And then you got the cocky Brit versus the cocky American. And so the trash talk would just be epic if they did Bisping versus Chael Sonnen. I'd see Chael Sonnen winning by his usual wrestling ground and pound, but I think the trash talk leading to that would be awesome. Also, he can fight Akiyama, which would be really interesting because I'd have to wonder, with Akiyama's background and being a judoka, if he can take down Chael. I see Chael being able to take down Akiyama, but maybe not the other way around. Other interesting fights is if Husamar Palhares beats Nate Marquardt, to see Husamar versus Chael Sonnen. Very, very interesting fight. Stylistically, it does help Husamar Palhares. He's a ground fighter. Likes his leg locks, which is something that Chael has shown some susceptibility to. Very interesting fight. Wouldn't want to see a rematch with Nate Marquardt. Unfortunately, it just happened. Not a first matchup. But also the winner of Damian Maia versus Mario Miranda would be versus Chael Sonnen would be pretty interesting. Miranda versus Sonnen, just a fresh matchup. Miranda's coming up too. If he beats Damian Maia, it's a big win. A rematch with Damian Maia would be interesting. I do feel that Maia is Chael's kryptonite, though. Chael likes to take fights to the ground. Maia's great on the ground. So there's definitely a number of fights at middleweight that Chael Sonnen can have. That's against like top 10 or some rising stars here, and I think they'd all be good fights. And just go to, after the jump, just go to part 2.